History in the making at the magnificent BC Place Stadium in Vancouver, as the biggest crowd ever to watch a 15-a-side rugby match in Canada awaits the Maori All Blacks and Canada. Tēnā koutou katoa, welcome to our coverage of this much anticipated match at the start of the Maori All Blacks International Tour. Haere mai to those watching on Sky Sport in New Zealand and on our live stream of the match in association with New Zealand Rugby. Grand occasion as rugby fans from all over North America descend on this ultra-modern covered stadium. I can tell you it's about 2 degrees outside, but the spectators able to watch in comfort, fully protected from the elements. An artificial turf too, which is going to be a new experience for the New Zealand players. 29,000 in. Magnificent setting. Richard Turner is alongside me. Kia ora, Richard. An occasion, a great occasion, and at a time when both teams are undergoing a period of change.
Yeah, kia ora, Tony. Yeah, absolutely. Canadian side, it's been not an official test window, so majority of players that would likely feature in a starting lineup not here today, so it's a very young Canadian side, but as with all young players getting an opportunity, chance for these guys to impress at the highest level. And New Zealand Maori, a number of players on debut there, particularly off the bench, and an opportunity, very proud moment to represent their country. But as you say, a wonderful stadium here, BC Place, Vancouver, Canada. And as you say, a sold-out crowd, so they will be entertained, there's no doubt about that. Maori rugby, very enviable record at international level.
Ian Campbell, the man doing the introductions, representing the First Nations groups, the tangata whenua, if you like, of the British Columbia region. It's a nation that's, Canada has done much to preserve its heritage. Well, the teams, we'll have a look at them. Canada under strength for this one. A lot of changes for the Maori All Blacks under a new Kaiako Matua coach, Clayton McMillan, who introduces 8 new players for this game. Just one in the starting 15. That's Jackson Himmelpool, who played so well for Manawatu in the Mitre 10 Cup. Charlie Ngatai to oversee operations from fullback. The Canterbury duo of Rob Thompson and Tim Bateman in midfield. Hawke's Bay combination, Ihaya West and Brad Weber behind the pack. And the return to the Maori All Blacks for Jared Hoiata at lock, Liam Polwood, Ross Wright, Tyrell Lomax, Jordan Manihira, Sam Henwood, Jackson Garden-Bishop and Sean Stevenson, all in line for a debut off the bench. Canada, well, they've been through a real period of upheaval since the World Cup. Kieran Crowley, of course, initially walking away from the job. Mark Anscombe coming in, he was released in August. I suppose that's a nice way of putting it. Welshman Kingsley Jones has taken over. He's going to be without a bunch of his top players because they've not been released by their paymasters in the UK and Europe. Just 1 week together too. Tyler Ardron joining direct from his season with Bay of Plenty in the Mitre 10 Cup. Phil Mack takes over as captain, and to underline just how turbulent things have been, just 2 survivors from the starting 15 from their last game at Rugby World Cup 2015. The front row veterans, Hubert Bidens and Ray Barkwell. So there have been a lot of changes to the Canadian team. As I say, about 5 or 6 of their top players unable to be released for this game. It's the start of their program. They will head on to Europe fairly shortly. In fact, they'll be heading for a match against Georgia. But here come the teams. This is a great occasion here, a great excitement in Vancouver, around British Columbia, in fact all of Canada. A sellout crowd of 29,000, excited to see the Maori All Blacks. They recognise the history of this team and thrilled to see international action. It's actually 90 years since the Maori All Blacks first played in British Columbia. 1927, they played 4 games in the region. Marcel Renata, you see there in the number 3 jersey. Playing a tight head prop. Well, they look amped up, don't they, Richard? I think the great opportunity for some of these players with a new coach to impress and maybe stake a claim for future matches.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Tony. It's massive excitement playing in your home stadium in front of a packed out crowd. Doesn't get any better than this.
Of course, being an international match, we will have anthems, just a presentation being made to the match referee. Got an all-American crew here today refereeing the game. So the national anthems to be sung. Firstly, the New Zealand national anthem to be sung by McKinley Bourne, and he will follow that up with O Canada. McKinley Bourne with the national anthems and did pretty well. I think the fireworks might have gone off just a little early. Well, the mounted policeman and his dog leave the field, and I'm sure great excitement being felt around the crowd now. This is a special moment, seen for the first time in this part of the world in 1827. 1927, I should say, 90 years ago. Maori All Blacks to perform their haka timatanga, led by their captain, Ash Dixon. Enthusiastically greeted by a country with a great cultural heritage of its own, Canada. Look at the surface here. It looks great. That's because it is actually an artificial surface here at BC Place. Richard, I guess that offers new challenges for some of these players. I guess for a start, about the kind of soles they have, the studs on their boots, will be a different sensation for them.
Yeah, my understanding, Tony, pretty high-tech stuff though, this surface, and sort of the players have walked over it obviously pre-match, and they've got no issues around any concerns about it whatsoever. So the playing surface will be exactly as you see it in your picture. It'll be hard and fast, there's no doubt about that. And remember, BC Place, a covered stadium, a fantastic atmosphere, fantastic environment for these guys to be in, Tony, and everything about this will just be encouraging these guys to get out there and be positive and play that traditional running Maori rugby that we're used to.
Of course, the stadium used for the very successful Sevens tournament earlier on this year, massive turnout. At its fullest is over 50,000. What they do is they just close off the upper part and they put these big screens up so it doesn't look like there's empty seats there. So they put 29,000 tickets out for sale for this one. Every single one of them sold. Here's our referee from the United States of America, Kurt Weaver, Derek Summers, Josh Houston. His assistants, Mark Nelson, is the TMO. Great occasion for them too. It will be Canada to kick off the sixth meeting of the Maori All Blacks and Canada.
Ash.
From Vancouver, British Columbia. And a big roar goes up, and a good start too from Dan Moore, the left winger, who got up to challenge, but the All Blacks have it under control. And a first touch for halfback Brad Weber. He'll put it high. Just a test for Andrew Coe, the fullback for the Canadians. He's been wrapped up just short of halfway. Coming off a very limited preparation, the Canadians, but they get an early penalty. No release in the tackle. I think Tom Franklin wearing the number 6 jersey today, Richard. Interesting selection, the big man who's had just such a great season. But there's the fullback, Andrew Coe.
Finds a good early touch too. Does Coe. Giving Canada
good there, guys.
Nice early attacking opportunity here. Strong line out, Kyle Bailey and Josh Larson. The second row, Ardron's a good option at the back of the line out as well.
Well, Ray Barkwell, the hooker, he's been around the block. That's not his best work. Experience took it, but overthrowing that one. And they do not want to be giving the Maori All Blacks any turnover ball. Charlie Ngatai straight away into the line. Ambrose Curtis is on the left wing for the Maori All Blacks. And they go on to the attack. The referee playing advantage here. There was a hand in there from the Canadians, and so I can't imagine there'll be a shot at goal here.
Shot.
Well, there will be a shot at goal. I was going to say full of attacking intent, but I guess Ash Dixon saying let's get some points on the board nice and early.
Yep, just a settler here for the Maori. But certainly the intent, Tony, obviously, if any turnover ball opportunities come their way, then yeah, they will have a crack. Immediately they went wide. Curtis Ambrose got his hands on the ball early. And then from the resulting phase play, penalty drawn in Ehire West's first opportunity.
Well, Ehire West, despite the fact that Hawke's Bay had a bit of a struggle in the Mitre 10 Cup, he was able to kick it 80%. He's a very good goal kicker. It's Heritage, Ngāti Kahungunu.
Here we go.
The southern east coast of the North Island. Ngāti Porou, of course, famous iwi from around the East Cape region. And the colours of Māori All Blacks, the number 10 jersey. And his first shot at goal looks on target. That's a great start for Ehire West. And Māori All Blacks up by 3-0. Well, there's the kicking style of Ehire West. Lovely, smooth, rhythmic style. So the restart, Pat Parfrey is the man restarting play, this time taken down by Franklin. Weber away to Marcel Renata, who really accelerates onto the ball nicely. Weber again goes high. This one a bit shallower, and well, ball allowed to bounce amongst a convergence of bodies over the touchline. It will be a Canada throw, and Bark will want to get this one on target.
Derek.
See, Kyle Bailey, man in the middle of the line out in 4, but Tyler Ardron is the man who came forward to take it. Giuseppe Dutoy taking it up in midfield. Now the other lock, Josh Larson. Mack swinging it away. Exposed in possession here, Canada, but they managed to recycle. Here's Ardron, who's a very talented player. Now Mack, the captain, clearing it away. Here's Dutoit, a man with obvious South African heritage, although he's been living in Canada for the last 17 years with his family. This will please their coach, an opportunity, good continuity, just working a few phases. A high shot, and I think Franklin is the guilty party there, and so it will give them an opportunity to level the scores.
Yeah, more the confidence taken out of the half a dozen phases from Canada there, so Tony. Good, clean and accurate ball movement. Their work at the breakdown was efficient. Brief discussion there before finally skipper Mack says, no, we will have a look at the posts.
One more time, Derek.
And here, the line out,
last one over
second
here.
time.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Thank you.
Tyler Ardron, familiar to our New Zealand viewers. Just recently finished a Mitre 10 Cup campaign with Plenty Union and picking up a Super Rugby contract as well with the Chiefs.
Well, Brock Stoller, the right winger, is the man who will shoot for goal. Missing their ace winger, Jeff Hassler, who has club commitments in Wales. And so Stoller gets his opportunity, and he'll do the kicking. He struck his first one well, very well. Oh, they're happy with that at BC Place. Canada level the scores at 3-all.
Here you go, man.
7 caps for Canada for Stoller, 3 conversions, whereas points prior to his first penalty for Canada.
Here's the restart. Just noticing the Canadian fans signalling the goal like they do in American football. Both arms raised. There's Philip Mack. Well, he can be very dangerous scampering away from the base, Mack, but he's lost it. There he is, the captain, a man with connections to the Toquat tribal nation on Vancouver Island. There he is. We've seen him a lot in the sevens over the years, haven't we? But Jackson Hemmelpool did well. Just managed to get a touch on him and dislodge the ball.
Well, this will be an interesting area of the game. A couple of big props in that Canadian side. Hubert Bidens, you've already mentioned. Matt Tierney as well, just 21 years of age, but 130 kilos. Tierney, you see him on this near side, good physique. We'll go head to head with Chris Eves.
Tierney on the tight head side. Biden's on the far side, has played provincial rugby in New Zealand as well. Manawatu, man from Saskatoon, right in the middle of Canada. It's a pretty handy front row for the Maori All Blacks as well. A big pack they've got. And very solid. West waiting for it. Weber goes past West, and there's that Canterbury combination. Thompson and Bateman working well. Ioane picks it up, moves it on to Franklin. First real opportunity on attack here. Renata backing in. Eves there to help him out. Pryor over the ball, the pick and go. Good clean out needed. There's the ball. Canada lining up on defence. But this is looking promising. Dixon. Now Hoyata goes one wide. Renata.
Oh, chance left if they go quickly here, the Maori.
They've got a numerical advantage away to the left. Players in space too. Ball slowed down just a little, so they take it another phase. Referee's playing advantage. There it is. Opportunity here. They go wide. Oh, just slipping though. So back it comes to Dixon. Well, holding out the Canadians. Ioane using his power. Weber wants it. Oh, manning up well, the Canadians. But can they hold out?
Release that.
Getting very close. Ioane over the ball. In fact, he leaves it. No. He was short Hemmelpool, so they go back for the penalty.
14 phases
To release the
in the lead up. So finally an error from New Zealand Maori, the Maori All Blacks. This is
Ash.
where they had the opportunity
Penalties here,
to the left. West couldn't keep his feet.
Scrum.
Canadians, well, they'll be happy defensively. Defending 14 phases.
Well, I think they've felt from that first scrum that they can really launch something from here. Either a chance to have a go for the line from the scrum, or such a solid platform to launch an attack from. You've got the power of Ioane off the back, plus all the attacking options at their disposal in the back line.
Yeah, so many options here for the attacking side. There's no doubt about that. And conversely, a very, very difficult defensive situation to deal with here.
So Weber has it in. And yeah, they're going to have a go, are they? Comes out the back. Weber, not sure whether he wanted it or not. Matt was all over him. But there it is. So they'll have to do it from a static situation, but look at the numbers. Squirting out loose. Pryor gets rid of it quickly. Thompson flings it, almost intercepted by the fullback Andrew Coe. But there was a knock on it, squirted out of the ruck, touched by a Canadian hand, and they'll have another scrum.
Yeah, a little bit untidy at the back of that last scrum. It's almost like there was a bit of a communication lapse between Ioane and Weber, the base of the scrum. And then they had a bit of a scramble here. Thompson thought there was an opportunity out wide.
Ash, a little quicker here, yeah.
But they'll have another opportunity, and if anything, slightly greater opportunity on that blind side to the left of the All Black scrum, the Maori All Black scrum.
Well, yeah, they brought Charlie Ngatai up. He's on the right with Wainui. Everyone else on the left.
All right, so listen, boys, we talked pre-match. We're going to have a gap before the set. We're just going to move to free kicks. Understand? A gap before the set. Here we are.
I don't know about you, Richard. I
More gap.
fancy Ioane off the back of this. I'm sure if you were captaining this team, that's exactly what would be happening. Number 8 off the back.
I'd like to get everyone into the game early, Tony, but no, certainly that his athleticism and power off the base will be good. So if ideally for this situation, a little bit of right hand up for the Maori.
Nope. Flack's just going in.
Well, referee Weaver
This is going in.
just gave them a warning, said, I want a gap before the set. Maori choose.
It's a free kick, 10.
Closed up that gap, so a short arm penalty to Canada.
Well, they'll be pleased to relieve the pressure. Happy to put it in touch. They won't get the line-out throw, of course, because it was a free kick. I think just happy to get out of their own red zone.
Black ball.
It's the 5th time these teams have met. Maori All Blacks with a 100% winning record. Of course, their record against international teams so good. 62% success against international opposition. Hemmelpoort knocking it down. Franklin gets rid of it. It's a little untidy. Here's Thompson. And he sets it right on halfway. Weber to West, puts it high. Ngatai giving chase. And Cole, the fullback, Coe's done well this time. Beautiful hands, and here's Barkwell, the 37-year-old, steaming down the touchline. Mack is there in support, and opportunity for Canada to attack now. Dutoit. Matt popping it up for more, and appealing to the referee. Now Parfrey, on it goes to Dobrowski. The German-born flanker. Parfrey not afraid to take the line on either. Pat Parfrey. Here's Ardron driven back though. We've still got it. Larson and Barkwell in the action again. No mistaking him, Ray Barkwell. Stabbed through by Parfrey. Ngatai has it covered though. And thumps it away in a touch. Nice passage of play there from the Canadians.
Well, here's where it all started. Coe getting up and competing nicely. One-on-one against his opposite, Ngatai. And there's Barkwell. Eating up some metres down the touchline. Mack in support. Now the set piece again for Canada.
And Ardron wins the line out too. And high tackle against Dan Pryor. And I think the referee wants a word here.
Oh, yeah. Josh, you get a good look at that?
Yeah, he's going to have another look at it. Looked pretty high.
Thank you. Captain 7. We've already had one over here. Started high and ended high. Some minutes.
Yeah, going to the bin.
Tackle's down for me, yes?
It was the winger coming in.
Cut.
And, well, yeah, first contact
Time on.
above the shoulder.
Yeah.
And that's a yellow card. I don't think he's got any argument with that,
And
to be
bit of
honest.
force, and no need to go to the television match official. And I get the feeling, just looking at Pryor's reaction, Tony, immediately post-tackle, that he knew he was in trouble.
Thanks,
There's
appreciate it.
the brains trust for Maori. McMillan in the middle. And so now they'll be forced to defend just the 14 players. Stoller lines up his second penalty of the day.
Well, he struck his first one beautifully. He tends to stab his kicks. No great follow through. Get the funny feeling this guy might have played a bit of American football the way he kicks. And this one is on target, is it? Yes. Well, that's 2 out of 2 for Brock Stoller. and Canada lead the Maori All Blacks by 6-3. Well, they've done well here. They were under intense pressure. That free kick allowing them to relieve some pressure, and then the yellow card. And so 16 minutes gone. Maori All Blacks facing 9 minutes with 14 players now from here on. Just a little deep, and Ardron able to take it down cleanly. Phil Mack with the kick. Ngatai taking it comfortably.
Backward.
And so Weber quickly to the short side, and Thompson breaking. Rob Thompson gets it away to Curtis, and Ambrose Curtis will score. Well, really good read of the situation to take it to the blind side, and the speed of Ambrose Curtis off a nice pass, and the Maori All Blacks have the first try of the match.
Well, you could almost see the excitement. He looked up. There's Ngatai. Just loses control there, trying to transfer the ball. Deemed to have gone backwards, and then he looked up. Weber on the short side. Thompson, his eyes just lit up. And all it was a simple draw and pass, 2-on-1 situation. Practice it 100 times every week. And Curtis Ambrose opens the try scoring for the Maori All Black.
Yeah.
Well, he only had Phil Mack in his line of vision. Ambrose Curtis, he would have played against him on many occasions in the Sevens game, and he backed himself with that long loping stride of his. And so despite losing a man to the bin, Maori All Blacks have the lead 8-6 with the kick to come from Ihaya West. Well, both goal kickers striking the ball nicely. 10-6 the score here at BC Place, Vancouver.
Just the heads up opportunity. There they had the numbers down the short side, just had to get the execution right, and they got it spot on. New Zealand fans and the crowd very happy.
A lovely acceleration onto the ball by Thompson, wasn't it, to make it? And we know about Curtis's finishing speed. Franklin, but I think there's been some obstruction off the ball here. And so referee Weaver straight away giving Canada an opportunity to close it up to 1 point. And with Stoller striking the ball nicely, no surprise to see him coming forward.
It's the small stuff.
The fourth penalty.
Just jumping to be in the way.
So Maori, there you see, yeah, Marcel Renata.
Our players coming forward and they're standing their ground. How's that?
I don't mind if they're coming forward. When they turn not, you look at the ball and get in the way. They know what to do.
No, I think he's got a fair argument there, Ash Dixon. Renata is not obliged to get out of anyone's way. He was standing there, he didn't move, he just turned his back. I think Ash Dixon has an argument, but the referee, I guess, has laid down how he's seeing it, and they'll have to adjust.
Yep, there it is. In a nutshell, Tony. There's only one bloke going to win that debate.
And it ain't Ash. Brock Stoller with his third penalty, and so it's 10-9 midway through the first half.
Back again. Thank you, ma'am.
He's efficient, there's no doubt about that. To say, Tony, sort of signs of a American football kicking background, doesn't take a huge run up or move that far back from the ball, just comes through. Very swift in his action is Brock Stoller.
West. This is a bit more contestable, but Ardron with very good aerial skills. Now Larson will move it wide, and at this time Dutoit can't hang on to the pass.
Lost now, Red.
Wainui has it for the Maori, and they can counter-attack, and this is where they look really dangerous. Ioane, well, they got him,
Advantage is over.
but he could damage them. Little stab through Not a bad one either from West, but just running into touch. Impressed by this fullback here, Andrew Coe. Richard early on. He looks like a good player at the back.
Yeah, 21 years of age. Andrew Coe debuted earlier this year in the match against Georgia. As you see, Toi losing control of the ball and the tackle, and the Maori are away.
Here they have it from the line out. Webber sweeps the pass away to West. Bateman now wide. It goes to Wainui. Sean Wainui, well, managing to keep the ball in play, but ending up over the touchline. So some desperate defence. Parfrey involved, but I think signs here, Richard, that the pace.
Off of red.
Not forward off of black.
I wasn't in angle for that.
Yeah. Forward off black first. Red scrum. Boys back here.
Here's the decision.
Forward off black first. Red scrum.
All line out up to them.
Not an option. It was touched before it went out.
A little bit of debate about.
We understand? We keep a gap, yes?
There.
Gap it is.
That's a stat that the Canadians will have to address.
Quicker, black.
If they're going to turn the ball over, well, he's telling the Maori All Blacks to be quicker. Both sides,
Crouch.
or both sides in a similar state of preparedness for the scrum.
Bind. Set.
This is Dustin Dabrowski here on the side of the scrum. As I say, born in Hanover in Germany. Well, looks like he's keen to run the ball at them as much as possible with Toi. And the kick, well, it hasn't found touch. Wainui flinging it back in field. Ngatai. Now here's Curtis. Puts the foot down. Nicely collected pass by Bateman. Finds Ngatai with a speculative pass, but just trusting his teammates to get on the end of it.
Stay, Brad, stay, just stay, stay.
Webber trying to work the ball away. Renata put on the ground. Matt Heaton, the flanker, making the tackle. Franklin, as he's done so often this year, carting it up. West now, little show of the ball, hanging on to it.
Two release.
Well, they're certainly threatening.
Let it go, one.
Dixon. Webber, who's clearing the ball nicely. Bateman, short pass away to Hemmelpaul. Breaks the line. Bailey had to make a desperate tackle. Now stabbed through by Thompson. Well, Coe has done well under pressure. Again, the Canadian fullback. And they'll get an opportunity to clear. He's going to try and work it out a little, create a bit of space. Phil Mack has to get rid of it in a hurry. And in the end, he's done pretty well to get it up near the 22.
He's done very well, Phil Mack, but Maori operating with just essentially 13 players. Ambrose Curtis, sorry, carried the ball, then stayed down from his carry. So the following 5 or 6 phases, Maori All Blacks operating because Pryor's in the bin as well. Essentially, this is the injury here. He carried the ball, did Ambrose Curtis, and never got up from that. So some concerns around his fitness at the moment, but he's looking like he's going to try and run it out. Marcel Renata's doing the age-old, oh, I'm a prop forward, I better go down, give my mate a bit of time.
What do you think, sir?
He doesn't look happy.
So, okay. Hey guys, number 11 is coming off for black.
Well, it looks like they're going to have to make that substitution. I imagine this will be a debut for Sean Stevenson.
Yep.
Pryor.
Sin bin is back on, yes.
Who's been watching proceedings from the bin.
Okay, here we go.
Kay Whakahaere.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Ward, manager.
Got it, thank you.
Just overseeing.
Here we go, boys.
Just the change of players, and there it is, a debut for the Maori All Blacks for Sean Stevenson, whose Maori heritage is on his father's side, Samoan on his mum's side. And this is well, a real disappointment for Ambrose Curtis, because he's been in really good form for Manawatu. Sharp the way he took his try, but unfortunately could be that his tour is over. Off to France after this, but great opportunity for Stevenson. And he might get ball in hand pretty quickly too. Here he is, straight away. Sean Stevenson takes it to the line. His old grammar schoolmate, Akira Ioane, fighting them off. Now Franklin.
Push.
Eves. Hemmelpaul.
Release, Red.
Talking to players in form, he's one of the best. Now the stab through again from Ehire West. Mack is back, and I think he might have taken this back into the end goal. Phil Mack.
Yeah, certainly the question being asked at the moment.
Mack is back. I had to say it,
Right
didn't
in,
I?
down.
Yeah, that's the ruling, as you saw a glimpse of Dan Pryor returning to the fray, so well weighted. And then the kick chase, Stevenson getting himself involved very quickly in this one.
Here we go, boys.
Philip Mack, entrusted with the captaincy by Kingsley Jones. Such an experienced player.
Crouch. Bind.
Let's look at the setup here. Looks pretty straightforward, doesn't it? Stevenson right behind the scrum. Webber goes directly to Thompson. Parfrey has him round the ankles. Now Ioane. And Akira Ioane.
You see it.
Hepiro, he has the try.
Akira Ioane, he's a powerful man. And the opportunity created by Thompson on the carry. The Canadians were just a bit slow. They stayed on the short side defensively, didn't get enough players over to the open side from the recycle, and there you see, clear as day.
Thanks.
They got there, and then, well, to be fair to Heaton, he did get there. Ardron chose to go a little further left, and that created the pick and go opportunity for Akira Ioane, and he is so difficult to stop in that situation.
Well, he ended up with 3 Canadians and one of his teammates on his back. Mack appealing that he might not have grounded it. The referee quite happy that he had. The conversion is good. So the second try of the match scored by Akira Ioane gives the Maori All Blacks a 17-9 lead.
Just having a look, Heaton talked about Matt Heaton. He's made his way back. Now just getting some strapping to a finger. Just watching him in behind the goal line there, but yeah, no, he's going to return to the fray, Matt Heaton.
This time Hemmelpaul obliges Dixon, standing out in midfield with a hit up just like that in mind. Back they go to West.
Stay here, Black.
West happy just to kick it deep.
Red, retreat.
Dutoit
Red 15
with the return. And the chase too, but nicely done. Very nicely done by Ehire West. Wainui coming across too to help out. That's good thinking from Wainui. Ngatai, he kicks and finds a lot of space. Here's Stoller. Haven't seen him with ball in hand yet. And doing the goal kicking. Mack goes getting the locks involved just to work the ball downfield. Mack wants quicker ball than that. Here's Dabrowski. Through the hands. Now Ardron in a bit of space, and fullback Co just running out of room though. Ngatai, well, they've got to wake up, Canada. Took it off him straight away. Charlie Ngatai fired it in field, and Ehire West slams the kick down into the 22. It's not going to go into touch. Stoller probably wishes it had, but he manages to find some support there. Ben Lesage, the centre, was there to help him out. And they're going to get out of this, Canada. Dabrowski. Stevenson trying to rip the ball away from him. Barkwell. No one tries harder for Canada than the veteran hooker. Low pass, but nicely done by Parfrey. And not well. Then he kicked it out on the full.
He certainly did well initially, Tony, to beat the rushing defenders. Patrick Parfrey.
Well, he comes from a fantastic rugby heritage. Pat Parfrey Jr., his father, Patrick Parfrey Sr., one of the great figures of Canadian rugby. Passed away, sadly, a couple of years ago, but very well known around the rugby world.
Step, boys, step.
Dixon. Nicely taken down by Hoiata.
Yeah, he lost it.
But lost it.
Yeah. Good contest in the air. Tyler Ardron again. Making a nuisance of himself, and affecting essentially the turnover. He'll give his side possession of the ball from the set piece.
Better guys, thank you. Thank you.
Kingsley Jones taking over from Mark Anscombe, who departed quite unceremoniously after about 18 months in the job. And of course,
Crouch.
Kieran Crowley, who looked like he was going to continue, but I don't think he was too happy with some of the messages he got after a disappointing Rugby World Cup campaign, and so he left the job. So they've had 3 coaches spanning less than 3 years, Canada. There's a good work from Dobrowski, and Mack with a bit of space puts one high. Stevenson coming in, takes it effortlessly, and a nice ball away too to Franklin. I fancy he might be enjoying playing in the number 6 jersey. Canada though,
let it come.
Like they might have ripped this off.
Phil Mack doing some great work in there.
Yeah. The little skipper taking the ball away, now passing it. Kick down field from Parfrey, straight to Wainui. Now Ngatai, who's tending to look for distance with his kicks. Ko, beautifully positioned, just slipping a little, but making good ground up towards halfway. Mack arrives. Here's Bailey.
One release.
Mack again. Parfrey moving it on. The other lock, Larson. Met with some force by Jackson Himmelpaw. Pick and go.
Forward off black advantage.
And just dislodged by a New Zealand hand. A big hit by Thompson. Tim Bateman thought he was away. And just take an opportunity to stretch the legs there. I think he'd heard the whistle.
Loss forward. Scrum red.
There he is. How good it was to see him back in the New Zealand game this year, Tim Bateman, and such a good combination. I suppose that, even though he's had a limited preparation, Clayton McMillan, he's got West and Webber who played together, Thompson and Bateman who've played together. That'll help.
Derek, whatever you can do. Here we go, boys.
Yeah, it certainly does. It does. Well, many units collectively certainly help overcome, as you say, the limited preparation.
Crouch.
So this is the possession stats there just slightly favouring the Maori, but the big one is where the game's been played, Tony.
17-9, and big scrum, but well taken off the back from Ardron, and I think he's got another obstruction here.
I think it's 6. You're in the way.
Then this time it goes against Dustin Dobrowski. There's Ardron.
Shot. Shot, guys.
And Ehai West going to take a shot at goal here. Of course, Canada, resource is always going to be an issue for them. They've only had a week together too. And for them, their big goal at the moment is qualifying for the next Rugby World Cup. They haven't made it yet. They've got to play a home and away against Uruguay early next year, January, February, for the second America's spot in Pool D, along with Australia, Wales, Georgia and Fiji. And they will be desperate. They've got a good record of making it to the Rugby World Cup, Canada. And I guess this has really started the start of the build-up for those two very important games for them. West, well, he is striking the ball beautifully. Such good conditions here, of course. Perfect footing. No overhead conditions to worry about with the covered stadium. And West, another penalty, makes it 20-9.
Yes, Tony, just picking up on that last conversation about the current state of Canadian rugby. You know, it's certainly the talk around at the moment, currently languishing 24th in the World Rugby standings at the moment, Canada, and that the importance of qualifying for Rugby World Cup 2019 in Japan, very, very high on the agenda.
Hemmelpaul with a good return. Dixon, that seems to be his role. Second carrier after the restart. Again, West kicking deep. They fancy this as a tactic, the Maori All Blacks. Coe tries a high one. It's going to come down in the middle of the field, but very easily read by Brad Weber. And talking of players, isn't it good to see him making a good recovery from that very badly broken leg. Nice ball away to Sean Wainui. Solid clean out too, and Renata looking to pop a pass to his skipper. Decided to hang on to it. Ioane now, and well, almost getting in the way was Parfrey. Stevenson has it, and decides to go back a couple of metres, then starts to go forward, brushing off the first two. Sean Stevenson, well, it wasn't a bad attempt at the offload, but the Canadians have got it, and now they've given it back to Charlie Ngatai, and he puts a little kick ahead, going back, and it's the big lock, Kyle Bailey, who's gone back to rescue the situation. I tell you what, they're not out of trouble yet. Well, game really breaking up here now. Matt Heaton comes away with it. 2 or 3 quick turnovers. Matt Tierney makes a metre or two.
Set back,
and now they'll set themselves up for a clearance. Oh, it's not a good strike at all. He hasn't done much wrong, Andrew Coe, but he didn't hit that one at all well. Well, Stevenson, say he was prepared to go back about, was Parfrey, was it the kick? Stevenson prepared to go back about 3 metres before he went forward, but still managed to carve them up.
Oh, he sure did.
Ash, we got to go quicker, okay?
Little offload wasn't that far away too. Ngatai just slightly overrunning it. And some work from Kyle Bailey, as you said, defensively for Canada, and then they turned it back over to the Maori. So yeah, entertaining few minutes right there.
Well, they work it at the front of the line out. Franklin got the return ball from Dixon. Only question about this, did it go 5?
Oh, did it go 5? Maybe a forward pass too that they'll look at. Little consultation, no issues, according to referee Weaver and his assistant referee. So the set piece move work between Franklin, little 1-2 down the 5 metre tram line, and Franklin's picked up the try.
Well, just have a look at this here. He's not allowed in front of that line. Well, he's no problem at all. That is absolutely beautifully worked. Not allowed in front of that 5 metre stripe to catch the ball, but as you could see, he was comfortably in it. The pass was fine. Try confirmed, and Tom Franklin gets the 3rd for the Maori All Blacks.
I remember, Tony, very early on in my career, I was told by a coach never to turn my back on the ball. Now, if I was running to position, run backwards, never take your eye off the ball, and that was Matt Tierney's crime on that in that situation. Wasn't watching the ball. Didn't see the set play move unfolding in front of him.
It's just awareness, isn't it? Maori All Blacks always aware of an opportunity. Canada need to be equally aware of the need to defend. And West from wide out. Well, he's just nailing everything at the moment. Franklin's try, beautifully worked, not particularly well defended, and superbly converted.
Yeah, see, oh, it was actually Biden's. I'll apologise to Matt Tierney. Biden's at the front of the line out. And certainly not interested in reacting either. to try and tidy up his mistake.
So now very firmly in control of this. Maori All Blacks 27-9. Dixon again. Carbon copy, isn't it?
Tackle release. 7 out.
Larson trying to counter ruck. And that's half time. Referee Weaver says that's it. Well, a very good first half performance by the Maori All Blacks. They have scored 3 tries. And as they leave the field here at BC Place in Vancouver, they have a good advantage over Canada by 27 points to 9.
One more time.